It is now 8:39. It's Pete. I've got the beat with you, and joining me here in the studio is Nick Walsh. He is the regional president of Western Pennsylvania for Community Bank. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Hey, I'm glad you're here because Ben is always bringing new folks into new for me to talk to. So I haven't had a chance to really get to know you. So I want to start there, if that's all right with you. Tell me about what you do with Community Bank.
Yeah, so I run a commercial banking team that primarily focuses around Washington, Allegheny County, and kind of the surrounding areas. And so we work with real estate developers, different real estate investors, but also operating businesses. So we provide working capital lines of credit, term loans, and we've really been focusing a lot about helping people transact, move money, maximize their deposits, and be efficient and safe with their transactions.
So when people want to do that, or businesses, do they just call the bank directly? Do you have do they call a special department? How does that work?
Yeah, so they can obviously reach out to us. They can reach out to the big bank. They can reach out to us individually, and we do a pretty good job of marketing ourselves. And we spend a lot of time out with people in the community, getting to know each other, so that people kind of have a warm transfer and kind of a warm connection with us.
I think that's very important, and it seems to be one of the I think top things that Community Bank will do. You do feel comfortable there.
Yeah, I think what we've really done a good job, especially probably in the last couple of years, is trying to build a brand. And I think it's a brand that really relies on us being local, knowing our customers, being good advocates for them. To some degree, every bank has a line of credit and a deposit account, but I think it comes back. We still think this is a personal business, and it helps to know your banker. So we've really tried to make the effort to get out and know our customers and understand their businesses.
And I'm sure as I talk to you, which, by the way, we're talking to Nick Walsh. He's from Community Bank, and he's the regional president of Western Pennsylvania. And it's not just you. You have a whole team.
We do have a team. We have about half a dozen bankers on our team here locally and in this region with several support people. And one of the things that we're really lucky and that we really preach is for better or for worse, if you need something, you have an issue, you're calling one of us pretty much directly. So we obviously have a helpline and like an 800 number, but 90% of the time you're calling either a 724 or a 412 area code. And we think that's a differentiator because you're always working with somebody that knows you and understands your business.
I think that's extremely important. That's when you talk to people in general, the number one thing they hate is when they have to go through a series of people that aren't sometimes not even in the country,
right,
trying to get to their local bank.
Yep.
So that's to me that's a big deal. So I guess that's just one of the things that I think separates Community Bank from other local banks. But I'm sure there are many more.
Yeah, I think we've invested a lot in people, and I think we have a really diverse group of bankers that understand different markets, different segments, different types of companies. For instance, we're working with a company right now that's working on a project in Europe. And so we've been able to kind of match the local advantage of understanding our customers, but also a level of expertise, bringing insights, understanding kind of how, maybe some of the larger companies have been interacting with banks and trying to bring that through our delivery model to customers in this region. We're really lucky in this region to have, I think, a really good base of, companies in a variety of, manufacturing, trucking, different segments. And so for us to have that level of expertise to bring to them and just the history and experience of working with those companies has been a real big differentiator for us.
So if you have to describe the experience that a customer would get from, let's say, getting a hold of you, can you give us like a kind of a broad overview?
So I think the easiest way I would say it is we're not out trying to sell products or services, and we're not trying to sell customers either. Our focus is to bring ideas, insights, benefits, and those are a lot of times going to come through interacting with us and eventually banking with us. But we want to make people interested in working with us based off the level of experience, knowledge, insights, and benefit that we can bring to them. So, it's great if when you talk about, rates or products and things of that nature, but we're really getting into the weeds about talking to people about how to increase their days payable. Like, how are they able to really budget and plan for capital expenditure needs in the next 5 to 7 years? how are they matching like that with like assets, and really planning appropriately for like a longer picture. And so we found that a lot of our competitors aren't getting into the weeds of those conversations, and it's mainly because I don't know that they're spending enough time with their clients. So, and we're not perfect, but we're trying to get there, and that's our folk. We're trying to take the conversations to a deeper level.
That's as you mentioned some of those things, that it really is incredible. There's so many things that I don't need to tell you, it's your job, but there's so many things that you got to be on top of anymore.
Yeah, and I think, what we've seen is there's going to be a lot of, so number one, this year started off with a little bit of volatility. And so that's good to stay close to your customers and understand what their needs are. And, we also know that there's going to be a lot of businesses changing hands over the next 5 years. And one of the things we want to be known for is really good at helping those companies transact and either acquire or merge with other companies and being a part of that capital structure. And then, one of the things right now is, when companies are successful and do generate cash and have a good deposit balance, we want to make sure that they're able to transact safely and efficiently. And there's a lot of fraud going on, and no one wants to talk about it. But those are things that we're trying to at least bring some of the stories and some of the solutions so that people are making decisions with their money eyes wide open and responsibly.
I think that's, again, you just bring up so many important parts of what you do, because, man, it's like every day there's some story about fraud,
Yep.
every day.
Yeah, we could probably fill a couple sections with that, but we won't scare everyone off today.
Okay.
But, I would say if there was one thing to just think about that's, again, it's not selling a product. It's if someone's ever in doubt, pick up the phone and have a conversation with who you're transacting with or with your bank, and just the whole, measure twice, cut once type of scenario. And it's tough to get the money back once it's gone.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the things that, it's not a product that we're selling. It's just some advice that we think is a little bit old school, but probably a good time to use it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So if people want to get in contact with the Washington County or Pittsburgh commercial team, do you have a phone number?
Yeah, absolutely. I can be reached at 724-223-1283 or an email at nwalsh@cb.bank.
Okay, give that again, because I want people that because they're going to be somebody that says, you talked to this guy for 10 minutes and he didn't give you his phone number.
Yep, no, for sure. 724-223-1283. And again, the email was nwalsh@cb.bank.
Nick, pleasure meeting you. Thanks for taking the time to come in. I appreciate it. Wasn't too hard, was it?
No, it was fantastic. Thanks for having us out today. We really appreciate it, and great to be a part of this.
Come back anytime. I love talking to you guys, and I love your bank, by the way, too.
Well, thank you. Appreciate the support.
You got it. Here's Christopher Cross, 95.3 WJPA.